Hello, hello. You are tuned into the video blog, The Atlantean Revelations, Diary of an Atlantean. And this is today is March 15th, 2011. And might I just throw in here the reminder that we just had a major global disaster occur. Just so happens to be that it happened on March 11th, 2011. And that prompted me to do a little bit of digging on a couple of things. And of course, anytime I do this, it seems like whatever I'm looking for, I'm led to what I'm really supposed to find. And every time I'm led to something like that, in that manner, it ends up being of massive proportions. And this is no different. What information that I have come across, and now that the confirmation has been given to me through multiple ways of confirmation that I get, I know that this is something to take very seriously. So I am going to share this with you, and it's going to be a long, drawn out transmission that I have for you right now, but it's probably the most important one. It's right there. It's right there because it goes hand in hand with the first chapter that you listened to about disclosure and first contact. This is right there. This is right there, and not only is it right there, but I think it's probably going to actually carry through out the post first contact days or era, if you will. And so it's pivotal that you understand what we're heading toward and do what you can to be prepared for it. So by starting this, I am going to read to you the first chapter, the introduction that I started with when I first changed the name of my book, the first book, to The Portal City. And I wrote this last year in May of 2010, The Portal City, Chapter 1. It's done. Portals have been sealed in the shadow. Hidden they will be underwater of the tsunami. Can you hear it? You better fear it. Run, N.O. This was a MySpace comment left on June 15th, 2010 by Chris. Chris happens to also be Kylie. This is my introduction. Long before April 20th, 2010, when the explosion occurred way below the surface of the Gulf of Mexico and unleashed one of the most cataclysmic man-made disasters known to history, and long before the subsequent tidal wave a few months later that it triggered, there stood one of the most exotic and mysterious cities this world has ever known. She is the city of New Orleans. The great southern city of charm and mystique has now become the new myth of the ages, our modern-day Atlantis indeed. And no one would have ever believed that due to the dark, gushing oil spill that devoured the Gulf Coast of the United States, that not only would countless species of birds, sea turtles, and other marine life be lost forever, but that a devastating loss of human population would also be the price for this maddening mistake made through greed and hubris. Did we not learn anything from the lost civilizations of the Roman Empire and Atlantis herself? And so, this is how the Portal City came to be closed by a tsunami. Not one brought on by Betsy, Camille, or even Katrina, but by nature and man's own worst enemy, man. Now, I felt the need to read that to you because that's what I was originally starting the book with, and I have since then switched my perspective, but I think it's very important that that is documented here somewhere. Maybe I will go back to that as the book. As I was in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and if you watched Chapter 3 about Fred, I was with him actually, and I was showing him a website. And on that website, I ran across an article, and it just so happened to be about the oil spill, and I just kind of know what to look for when I'm looking for, or when I see certain things, they just stand out to me, and I just know to go follow it. And this one was, it said, awakening, it said, could greed awaken a sleeping giant? And it was a very vague title. When I clicked on it, the article happened to be from Memphis, Tennessee. Now, I am from Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. And guess what that article was about? This was before the tsunami in Japan. It was about all of the seismic activity that's been going on along the New Madrid Fault Zone, or New Madrid Fault Line. And I didn't get into it just then because I was on another mission with Fred at that time. But then when I got back home, something else led me to, the supermoon, which is happening next week, starts on March 17th or 18th, I think. This upcoming full moon is also a supermoon. What that means is that the moon will be the closest to Earth. It's when the moon rotates or it's closer to Earth. And this particular orbit will be the closest that it's been to Earth in, I can't remember how many years, but a lot of them. And the most recent time that the moon has been as close as this, not as close as this, but as close as it could be other than this, was just so happened to be in end of August, beginning of September of 2006. Does that date ring a bell to anybody? Katrina. Go figure. Katrina, one of my triggers. And the Gulf oil spill, my awakening, the whole alarm clock set within me went off. That's what did it. And that's what this whole thing is about. And that was the catalyst. That was the key turning to set all of this in motion. And I got all of this, all these pieces fell into place for me as I saw this information as it was being delivered to me. And when I get it from certain sources, I know it's real. And so this is taking it all the way up to the New Madrid Fault Zone and connecting that to the Gulf oil spill. The dead birds, that phenomenon, that freakish thing that's been going on, that was explained. I'll get to that because it's all of the explanations, all of the information that was delivered to me, I've already prepped myself to know to look for it. I have in my Starseed video, if you'll notice, Nikola Tesla, electromagnetic energy. I've talked about electromagnetic energy going and how it's going to affect us. Little did I know. Let's see, Edgar Casey, haven't mentioned him, but Atlantis I've talked about, and he is the leading channeler for information about Atlantis. He also has had a lot of visions that he's put out there that he has been given over the course of his lifetime. One of them I saw for the very first time when I first started this awakening process almost a year ago today, with the Gulf oil spill. And that same exact piece from Edgar Casey came right back around full circle. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't even know where to begin with it because when I said in my past videos that the world as we know it is about to change, I wasn't even aware of how serious I was, of how serious this really is, of how huge it really probably is going to be. And I've gotten every indication that it is going to happen, that it's not going to be stopped. And what I'm talking about is that the pieces are put in place. All of the groundwork has been laid for a massive earthquake to occur in the New Madrid Fault Zone, and it's actually going to be triggered by the relief drilling that's been going on because of the Gulf oil spill, and coupled with electromagnetic waves sent out by HARP in a experiment. And these dead birds, they're caused by that electromagnetic wave. The birds hit that wall of electricity and just fell dead. That's what caused it. Electromagnetic energy. What have I been talking about? One of the videos that I watched that has this information in it mentioned Tesla. Now, that fault zone, when that earthquake occurs, is going to weaken the underlying bedrock. When that happens, also, there's going to be a domino effect with the Gulf. And when that weakening occurs, guess what? Guess where the water's going to go? Straight up the Mississippi Valley. Straight up the Mississippi Valley, just about practically cutting the entire United States of America in half. All of New Orleans underwater, just like that first intro paragraph that I wrote last year in 2010. Florida's gone. A lot of Texas is gone. Everybody I know and love is gone. Memphis is gone. My parents, gone. My friends in Memphis, unless you listen to this and you take me seriously, gone. New Orleans, my friends, the place that I love, gone. And there's nothing that I can do to stop it. There's a reason why I'm here in north central Georgia. Don't you think it's odd? And I just got led here from Memphis down to New Orleans, and actually here, out of it, here, where I'm supposed to be, where I know I'm supposed to be, because this is where we are safe, and this is where the rebuilding, this is where we will be. And this is going to be the epicenter for the rest of life as it goes on after this. I'll show you that map that Edgar Cayce envisioned, and I'll show you the map that was uncovered by the United States Navy had. I have some information, more information that I'm going to disseminate after I finish just talking to you about this.